Know this. Introducing the original Blood Clot podcast, not players. Soothing semantic. Special dedication. All the way from New York. Boom. Yeah, man. SWOT semantic. Yeah, me know. Boom. Soothing semantic. Yeah, me know. Big ups to the man now. Soothing semantic.
On another episode of Soothing Semantics, I'm your host, Rafi Pinsky. Subscribe, like, share, smash the like button, leave a comment, leave a few comments, and off we go. Today we have a very special guest, Brett Knopf. He is the Regional Personal Training Manager of Equinox. Did I get that right?
That is correct, sir.
Fantabulous. And we were connected through David Meltzer. Okay, for any of you who don't know who David Meltzer is, make sure to go and check the episode that I recorded with Dave. And without further ado, welcome, brother. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
It is a pleasure having you. I actually went to elementary school with he pronounced it Knopf, though. He said the K.
He did. Interesting. Yeah, it's a very wasteful last name. The K and the P are silent. They could have gotten by with just doing NOF and had the same effect. But alas, K and OPF, couple silent letters.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that he actually pronounces the K. I don't know. Maybe no idea.
I don't think that's commonplace with that last name. I mean, there's not that many of us. The most famous one is the publisher. Knopf. I think his name's Alfred Knopf. Big publishing house. So
the European name, no?
Yeah, it's a German name. It means button. So for the people that know that, I've had the really cute and clever nickname of Brett Buttons at various stops along the way.
You can't really. Can you imagine if you just translated it to buttons and you went over, say you were in a dark alley and someone came over to you and they're like, "Hey man, give me your money, give me your money." And you're like, "Do you know who I fucking am? I'm Brett Buttons." The dude runs off.
It does sound like that. It's something that would be in the dark underbelly of society. It's that. I hope that doesn't actually happen. That scenario doesn't ultimately evolve.
I hope not to. I hope you have a very, very safe life ahead of you. No dark alley scenarios.
Kind of you to say.
Absolutely, bro. Equinox is the most dangerous place you'll be day to day, right?
Yeah, largely.
Okay.
I mean, depending on what I do at home, I may get in trouble at various points, but I pretty much navigate that cleanly with the wife and kids.
Good.
So yes, Equinox is largely.
Some flowers, some Toblerone, and hopefully you're golden.
Yeah, back in the good graces.
For sure.
Danger averted.
Okay, so now to the meat and potatoes. Give us a scoop on how you got into the regional managing position. Talk to us a little bit about what it's like being at Equinox and what you've learned along the way.
Sure.
The floor is yours.
Yeah. So I got into the regional personal training manager role based on my history prior to Equinox. Most of that was spent in leadership and management roles. And when I came to Equinox, I decided to ultimately marry up what I care about on a personal level with what I was doing professionally. And I'm happy to say that's worked out extremely favorably. But because of that history, they were quick to look to segue me from personal trainer because I want to walk in the shoes. I find that if I'm able to articulate, from firsthand experience, it's going to make the buy-in significantly easier for the people I have the pleasure of managing and working with. So they were pretty aggressive in trying to get me into the role within the first 6 months of my time there. And at first I pushed back. I was just loving training. Like I said, I was doing something that I really cared about on a personal level. I've been going to the gym, involved in sports for most of my life. At least since I was 15 at the gym, and now being 28 years old, I enjoyed the opportunity to help change people's lives on a fundamental level, the ability to create my own schedule, and really build and manage my own business under the Equinox umbrella. But eventually, my skill set was very much geared towards the management and leadership side of the equation, the business management side of the equation, much more so than the sciences of personal training. So I ultimately acquiesced at around the year mark and went the management route. And very happy that I did, because what that's done is given me the opportunity, and I say this without any hubris or back padding going on, gives me the opportunity to really expand my sphere of influence. So instead of just impacting my 25, 30 clients, who then go on to impact their various constituents, whether that's, interpersonal relationships outside of work, within work. Now I'm helping manage a team of 30, 40, 50 trainers and 600, 700, 800 clients who then have that widespread impact. So it's been extremely rewarding to see people grow and evolve, not just from personal training and applying that in helping people meet their fitness goals perspective, but much more so from the mental, the emotional, the spiritual impact that they have on people's lives.
That's probably the most challenging.
By all means. I mean, it's certainly the most challenging.
You, by the way, I have so many things I want to touch on. So you totally keep going. I'm going to hold them in until.
I appreciate your patience.
Of course, go in. Yeah.
Yeah. So in any event, that's been really great, because these skills that we're teaching and we're coaching within Equinox are highly applicable in so many other areas of life. So sales, business development, networking, just there's so much applicable elsewhere that I've found it to be something that is that much more impactful for people that have gone on to do other things outside of Equinox. As a hiring manager, I'm looking for people that have that growth mindset that, yeah, if you want to be the top personal trainer, the top personal training manager in the company, go on and climb the corporate ladder, go get them, Tiger. You got my full support. But I'm also someone who wants to support people in their outside endeavors and give them that safe space to discuss those things and cultivate those things. And if you want to go on to do bigger and better things than what's going on here, you got my blessing, you got my support, you got my guidance. So yeah, and 13 years later, it's been a tremendous run, and I'm one of the few that have the luxury of being able to say I love my job, and I've really enjoyed it. I haven't had any bad days, as crazy as that sounds. I haven't had any bad days in 13 years. I've had very hard days. Don't get me wrong, but no bad days, and I never take that for granted.
That's an incredibly positive mindset, man. Again, 13 years. If you can't say you've had one bad day, you're either incredibly lucky or you have a fantastic mindset, and it's probably more of the latter. So
I appreciate
it's amazing,
that,
man. It's amazing, because
or I'm a liar to myself first and foremost. But I really,
probably part of that. Probably part of that is what. But I actually did an episode recently. I really implore you to check it out, and for everybody listening, it was with Mike Suisa, a buddy of mine, and we talked about the art of lying to yourself in a good way, in a positive way. It's a great episode. Definitely check it out. I'm not going to go too much into it. People go check it out. So many questions I have. First off, awesome that you've built something so incredible in 13 years. I'm actually 28 myself right now. So, I'm newer in my real estate career. So you said you were starting at that time, right?
Yes, that's when I got started on this particular journey.
Okay. What were you doing before?
When I first graduated college, I was managing at Tavern on the Green, which at the time was the highest grossing restaurant in the country. So that was a wild ride. I was working 90 to 100 hours a week, and I was making $23,000. So do the math. I was making about 6 cents, give or take, per hour in that particular setting. This was back in 2003.
Why? So why'd you do that? Honestly, why'd you agree to do that?
Experience,
Why'd they pay you such shit though? 20,
I don't know. I think because I accepted it.
$23,000?
I got a raise to 28,000 by the end of my time. Yeah, big bucks, no big deal.
Damn, bro.
It was tremendous experience. It was a unionized restaurant, so I had to learn really quickly that I'm not going to be someone who just tells people what to do. I'm going to be the leader that gets in the trenches, that leads from the front, that would never ask someone to do something that they're not willing to do themselves. And despite my relative inexperience, I don't even know how I got the job other than, gift of gab and, ability to connect with people. But, it was tremendously valuable, and it's made everything since then infinitely easier in my life and career.
These jobs, I was a waiter for 8 years throughout high school and college. These customer service jobs are vital because it takes away the entitlement. I honestly, man, I think that anyone from a rich family, because I did not grow up from one whatsoever, very much the opposite.
Nor I.
Anyone who has who has money should have their kids do work like that, waitering gigs, work like that, even if they don't need to, just to take the spoiled out of them. And you don't have to raise them spoiled, but naturally, if your kid grows up in a house worth a couple of $1 million, there are certain hardships they don't have to go through. I think that's great. It just builds character. You learn how to deal with people that mistreat you, because as a waiter, I mean, thank God, the large majority of the time I was respected. But you have people who snap at you and things like that. It's just important to navigate that gray area. Some people snap back, other people say nothing, and then there's a middle ground where you can go over to the person and say, hey, listen, I'm not okay with that. You can maybe do that with other people. That's not okay with me. I wouldn't even say that's the best route. The best route is to say that's probably not something you should do in your everyday life. Really shouldn't snap at people. What I was thinking inside was a different story, but hey, I didn't run my own shop. I was working for somebody. So, you have to, navigate. But anyhow, so I definitely think it's awesome that you started with that. In terms of the mental aspect of fitness, because as you know, most gyms make their money from people who don't show up. They get memberships. The new year comes around, they're like, yeah, I'm going to lift, I'm going to pick shit up, put it down. A month later, that's probably an understatement. I mean, people quit within the first couple of weeks. I wonder if you have a stat for that. Why do you feel so many people do that? Aside from the cliche lack of motivation, what do you feel that these people need mentally in order for them to commit to it, even if it's a 20-minute workout 3 days a week? Because the reality is a lot of these programs try to push this idea of working out can be fun. It can be. I happen to love working out. But for people who really aren't in shape and haven't built that body to at least that foundational level where they can go in, and even if you gain a couple of pounds here and there, you have the muscle memory where okay, well, my frame is still there. I just have to lose some pounds, do whatever I need to do for X amount of time, and I'll kind of go back to where I was, versus someone who starts working out for the first time at 40 years old, weighs 280 pounds, and they're, quite frankly, they're a lot more than they should be. What do you suggest?
Yeah, it's such an interesting question. And, I'll preface it by saying I study a lot of psychology and behavioral psychology in particular. And, one of the concepts that I've really been diving into and hearing a lot lately from, the personal development gurus out there, Tony Robbins and so on and so forth, is it's not motivation that's important. The motivation waxes and wanes. What's really important is discipline.
I knew you were about to say
That's the secret sauce to just about everything in setting habits for yourself that, you may not want to do, but you committed to it. Now that in order to be congruent and be a person of your word to yourself, first and foremost, let alone anything or anyone in the external world, you're going to have to honor those commitments by being disciplined. I hear all the time, money, finances. I have to talk to my spouse, my dog, my cat, whomever.
To their
get
spouse
permission
about what?
to
About spending the money on a
to
membership?
spend the money on a membership or personal
How much
training.
is a standard membership at Equinox? 120, 100?
No, much more than that. You're looking probably an average of 185 to 215, give or take.
Shit. And that's average? That's a standard
Yeah,
membership?
that's average, let
Do
alone
you even get
personal
access to the
training.
other? For that price, do you get access to the others?
No, in most cases, you're all access or 250s, 275s, etc. But well, listen, look at your face for a second, okay? This is the interesting part.
Well, what I was about to say, but hold the phone.
Done.
That's a lot more expensive than what I pay. And this is another thing I wanted to ask you, like what the benefits are, aside from it's nicer and all that. But real quick, even at $275 a month, even then, if people are saying they don't have the money, but yet they're going and ordering Uber Eats every night, and they haven't all, that's probably where you're going to go.
Ding, ding,
It's
ding.
priority, plain and simple. Because okay, if you don't want to spend $275, fine. But anyone telling me that they don't have the money to pay $30 for an LA Fitness membership are absolutely full of shit. And it's just all you have to do is go out one night on Friday night, you buy one drink, and that's close to $30, especially in downtown Miami. One drink, no problem. I'll drop $30 on something. I could have bought the bottle for 20, but let me buy one mixed drink for $30 that could have covered a month's worth of fitness, but I don't have the money. Even at $275, most people have the money because they'll blow it on something else with no issue whatsoever. I'm sorry if I took all the
hey, I love it.
Fucking
you're spot on. I mean,
that's your health, man. Like it's your health. If you're going to spend money on anything that you supposedly don't have the money for, fitness, your health is more important than anything else. Because if you're not healthy, then you can't do anything else properly.
Correct.
Yeah, it aggravates me.
I get that. I respect it. And it's just, it's so interesting to hear these things. And, I want to be supportive. I want to, guide people to what I consider to be, I've used the word a fundamentally beneficial impact. I don't think you can really argue that optimal health and wellness is going to benefit you on that fundamental level. To your point, without that, most of the other things in your life are going to have decreased value. You're not going to be able to show up mentally, physically, emotionally, any of it in the way that you would if you were actively working to get better in your health and wellness on a consistent basis. So, it does come down to that discipline. You and me we're anomalies for the most part because we largely enjoy it. But even us, I don't want to speak for you. My alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. and I'm getting ready to go. I don't want to necessarily get
100%.
up and get after it. But if that's the time that I have that is uninterrupted time, because it is a priority, I'm making that commitment to make sure that I am getting it done and not having excuses for not getting it done, because it's that important to me, because it takes care of a lot of the other things in my life. It just elevates the experience in other areas of my life.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, I love what you said about getting up, because there are so many days that I would much rather sleep in and go to the gym a little later, go to work a little later. Like for me, I'm a realtor, right? So if I have transactions that are moving, if I know, today I'm getting this listing, today I have a closing. If there are stuff that I know in that day that are fantastic, I'm getting paid, I'm meeting a client, then I'm stoked to get up, and that's it. I'm never not happy to get out of bed, thank God, because I do things I enjoy, and I do things on my own terms. But yeah, I mean, today I had a bit of a rough day. It wasn't, thank God it wasn't a bad day. I mean, people are, anytime during this Russia and Ukraine situation, I have absolutely no right to make any complaints or excuses right now. I just have no right. I'm living in Florida. Weather's beautiful. There's no danger to my life. I have no right to make any kind of complaints. But aside from that was kind of heavy, but this is how I'm thinking. And in terms of working out, what I tell myself, and I feel like you probably do the same thing, is as much as I don't want to get out of bed right now, I'll feel fantastic once I get to the gym, especially once the workout is over. And I always feel bad if I miss the morning workout because I know that now I have to go and work out at night, and there's a chance I might not do it. And when I go at night, it's crowded and packed, and it's just not the same. Like, yeah, the workout's great when I finish it. I might even have a little bit more strength at night, but the routine's not the same. When I wake up early, I go to the gym, then I go to work. I have my schedule at work. I come home at 8 o'clock. The rest of my evening, the 2-3 hours, the 2-3 hours that I'm awake, still I have that clarity, but everything else is structured. And there's nothing like having a nice pump before you go to work. It's just like it's indescribable. I feel it really is a shame that people don't have enough discipline to get to that point. I can't speak for women because many of them have a different kind of motivation when they go, trying to work out the booty and the lower half, where, for guys who are into fitness, you're working out the whole thing. But I mean, other than leg day, which I'm always going to have a love-hate for, everything else I genuinely look forward to. Like chest day, back day, shoulders, bicep, really other than, and even leg day I enjoy, but it's more of the afterward because if you fully enjoy leg day, I don't know if you're lifting heavy enough. That's the truth.
That's
What do you
funny.
think?
Yeah, if you're not gingerly walking a little bit in the ensuing day or two, then yeah, you probably aren't lifting the way that you could to have the gains that you're looking to get.
Yeah.
But you nailed it, man. It's just like waking up and starting your day with something as productive as that just sets the tone for everything. I personally like to meditate to just get my day started right. Then I focus on my goals. Then I start to work out while I'm listening to positively reinforcing messaging, self-esteem, confidence, listening about investing, trying to habit stack like that. So I try to get 2-ish hours of personal and physical development work in before I even start my work day. So it's I already feel well accomplished heading into that, and I'm clear, I'm focused, and it really makes the rest of the day go infinitely better when you're knocking these things out early and often.
Without a question. I think just not starting your workday with work being the first thing you do is night and day. When you wake up, especially when you break a sweat, even if you take a nice cold shower, I mean, when you come to work and you've already exerted energy and gotten your blood flowing, you don't need a coffee. Like, I don't drink coffee. You don't need a coffee. If you want to have one anyhow, go ahead. But I find that once you've already had some food in your system, you've lifted, you have your blood circulating, you start the day with a totally different energy, and it's fantastic. I wish people would have that same appreciation. But yeah, it's very difficult when you haven't done it at a younger age. There's one guy in particular. Most of the people in my gym are quite fit. It's not a Gold's gym. Most people aren't jacked, but you do have a couple of massive guys. But there's one guy in particular that started coming about 2 months ago, and he's been there. He's been consistent, but he's a big guy. I mean, he's huge. He's high threes, maybe even 4, and he's not tall, meaning he's, I don't know, maybe 5'8". But I mean, that's got to be hard because it's one thing when you're fit. When you're fit and you go to the gym, it's great. No one really, if anything, you can kind of lift the weights. People acknowledge it. It's fine, but no one's really has their eyes on you. You're a big dude, and you walk into the gym. You don't want to judge, but of course, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, this guy's not fit. He's trying to be, and I give him the credit because a lot of people like him wouldn't be. But it's hard because I've never been like that. I've never been a fat dude, so it's so hard.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit as well. And you know what the thing is? There's so many different ways to go about this at this point. I mean, the pandemic certainly skyrocketed the prevalence of at-home fitness opportunities for people. I mean, you got your tonals, your mirrors, your cycling bikes, whatever the case may be. So if there is that hesitancy to get involved because you're not feeling great about yourself, or you're afraid of judgment from your peers going into one of these big box facilities, there's so many different options. The point is, just move. You got to move on a daily basis. I find that there's just certain things that if you make them habits, or when you make them habits, they're really cornerstones for most of the growth and just upward trajectory in people's lives. So things like physical movement, 30 minutes a day, reading, studying, listening to podcasts, educating yourself, training your brain on a daily basis is another one. Meditating, slowing it down. Everyone's going fucking wild out here at all times, moving a million miles per minute without actually stopping, grounding yourself, and setting intention for what you're doing. Understanding that, just going from task to task to task without any thought, you're a robot. You're not operating with conscious thought and effort and intention, which is limiting your potential for growth. So if you can slow it down a bit and focus and become more present, that is another thing that is going to move it forward. Beyond that, mentorship, coaches, people that have the expertise in the areas that that you want to or need to improve upon. Don't try to figure it all out yourself. Find the people that have been there, done that at a high level. All the resources in the world are available largely to all of us for free at this point, let alone anything from a paid perspective. So, I find that doing these things regularly, and actually the last one in this, hopefully doesn't come across as hokey, but looking to actively give more than you get. If you're looking at everything, all your interactions through the lens of, what can I give? I just want to leave people in a better place for having interacted with me than when I found them, because I can learn a lot from them, and ideally they can learn a lot from me. If you're incorporating these things into your daily practices, it starts taking on that snowball effect. And you find that the things that are important to you, your goals, ideally you have goals for yourself, in life and business and fitness, you start attracting a lot more of the things that are going to help you achieve whatever it is you're looking to go for, if you're operating with that genuine intention of actively trying to help people and give everything you've got.
I couldn't agree more. I said this on many recent podcasts. The idea of in real estate of doing the right thing, because salesmen get a bad rep. So it's very important to lead with integrity, to think long term. At the same time, what do you think is the best way to assist somebody who's very apprehensive about moving forward with fitness? I think a lot of it also is they don't want the accountability, because they know if they have a coach, now they have to commit. It's the commitment. Even though I want to work out, I still want to have my Wendy's on Wednesdays, and I still want to have my Oreos. And now I have to have this coach, this whole discipline, this Brett Knopf guy who's going to call me and ask if I had my green smoothie. Fuck that, And I think that's what it is for a lot of people. They want it. They want to want it. So how do you tap into their desire, even if it's not strong enough, and help them self-discover?
Yeah. A lot of it comes to overcoming those self-limiting beliefs and just that self-doubt associated with it. Really it's about being genuinely interested and inquisitive about what are you looking to accomplish, helping really crystallize that for people, because more often than not, you're going to get vague answers like, I want to lose weight, I want to tone up. So if you don't really have a clear vision for what you want to do, it's going to be hard to get motivated and or disciplined to get in there and get the ball rolling. Certainly to keep it rolling longer term. more importantly than that, though, is why. That emotional trigger. There's something that you're feeling is important to you, or why your goals are important to you. It's not just I want to lose 50 pounds because I want to lose 50 pounds. It's more often than not some deep-seated emotional distress that has been kind of tamped down, and you don't want to bring that to the surface, because looking at that causes you to have additional anxiety and really have to face the facts that I'm making excuses. I'm self-sabotaging because of past experiences, rather than looking it in the face, understanding that this is going to be a great avenue to start working through those things, and finding the guidance. Again, all the resources are available. People know there's no secrets of how to lose weight and lose body fat. And if you want to learn how to lift, if you want to learn how to run, go to YouTube. You can find a ton of material to help you along your way. But again, people lack the discipline to even do that. So to me, it's kind of willfully not doing it, even though it's going to benefit you so greatly. So to take it full circle, I really try to help people figure out what they want to do, and then we can figure out why they want to do it. Then we can strategize on the specific actions, the program, the things that you need to do. But external motivation only goes so far. I'm in sales as well. I'm selling something of value that meets someone's specific need. So I feel great about it, but I don't want to force anyone. I don't want to bully anyone into doing anything that they don't want to do. I will encourage, I will support, I will, try to eliminate all the bullshit excuses that are there. But at the end of the day, if you don't want it for yourself, no amount of poking, prodding,
100%.
pushing is going to get it done for you. You gotta want it for yourself to really execute it, any real sustainable level with this thing, or most things.
Spot on. Because then, and if anything, they're going to resent you for pushing it. They need to self-discover. They need to realize it on their own. It's definitely a thing. That's of vital importance. It's just, I love though the excuses though. Like I'll have like married friends that go, oh, I just don't really have the time with my kids, and yeah. It's like, no, I get that you're very booked up, but at the end of the day, you'd prefer to come home and watch Netflix than be at the gym. And I understand it, but like when I, even like a year or 2 years ago, I used to actually somewhat accept the excuse. And then I'll see a guy who's 55 years old and he's been working out his entire life. And I said, if this guy's doing this, there's no reason why I can't do it. Will I miss a day here and there? Yeah, I'm human. Does it happen often? Not at all. I've come to a place that I've built a body that I like. I mean, I still could lose a little bit of belly meat. So I definitely want to talk to you, because I don't like cardio, man. Like I jump rope is cool. Like I enjoy that, but I don't really like running. I love weightlifting, but in terms of cardio, I started meal prepping a couple of weeks ago, so I've been losing a little bit, but I don't do enough core and cardio. A lot of it is just, I do my entire body. I do Sunday to Tuesday, I do low reps, higher weight. Wednesday to Friday, I work 6 days a week. So Wednesday to Friday, I do higher reps, lower weight. Sunday and Wednesday, I do legs and shoulders. Monday and Thursday, I do chest and triceps. Tuesday and Friday, I do back and biceps. And I just do that every week. And then every 2.5 months or so, I take a week off from weightlifting, and I'll just do more walking and maybe some push-ups and things like that. Then I take creatine hydrochloride every morning, 2 tablets, and I take whey protein twice a day, whey isolate. And that's pretty much it. I have my meal prep. I try to get, I'm about 196 pounds, so I try to get at least a gram per pound. And I drink flavored, the seltzers. Yes. But in terms of like, I don't have coffee, I don't drink milk, I don't think milk is like terrible, but I just don't really happen to not do it. Barely have bread. So yeah, I mean, I don't have, once in a while I'll have in Arizona. I live my life. I'll have pizza, ice cream, whatever. But for the most part, during the week, I'm not, for me, having a six pack is not of vital importance. I definitely want my stomach to be flatter. I have it's a little bigger than I like it to be, but overall, the rest of my body is mostly muscle, so it kind of makes up for it. Like I have a big chest, so it doesn't, like if I had a flat chest, it would look a lot worse, you know. But yeah, I'm just going on and babbling, but I just wanted to give you the whole scoop on like my routine and what I do, so you get just to get to know me a little better.
I like it.
I have so many questions, but well, first off, do you suggest any supplements other than those two? Because I feel like those are staples. I don't even think you need them, but I personally like them.
Nah, to me, it's different strokes for different folks. It depends what your goals are. It depends, your medical history. It's hard for me to sit here and prescribe anything, just as a blanket statement across the board. To me, fitness is very customized to the individual, what your goals are, and everything else that I previously mentioned.
Mhm.
So, no, for me, I protein, because that helps repair the muscle, build the muscle, and that helps burn fat. And that's really the extent of it, where I'm concerned. I don't do pre-workout or either coffee or things like that either. I want to keep it as natural as humanly possible. Eat whole foods. I mean, a lot of what the fat loss end of it is correlated with is the nutrition that you're abiding by. So, really, it doesn't matter how much cardio you're doing, any of that shit. It's build muscle and eat, your lean proteins, drink a shit ton of water, eat a lot of vegetables, and get your healthy fats in there. And you're largely going to be good to go as far as your body composition. If anything is generic advice, that would be it. And also, if you want to lose weight, it's simple math. It's calorie deficit.
Caloric deficit. Yeah, I was just saying that.
That's it. It's caloric deficit. No, it's no magic formula. Again,
Right.
This information is so easily accessible to everyone. It's just having, once again, the
discipline
to get the information and apply it day in and day out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all a math equation, man. Everything in life to a large degree is a math equation. Like in sales and real estate, you make X amount of calls, you set X amount of appointments, you have X amount of closes, you'll make X amount of money. You make X amount of money, this is your gross, this is your net. Like, it's all, to a large degree, it's a math equation. You're going to expect bumps along the road, similarly to working out, similarly to working out in business. There may be injuries, there will be rejection in business. There are things are going to be hurled at you, but as long as you continue to set your goals and set your numbers and actually follow through, at some point these things are going to start benefiting you. But that's how the world is created. Like with fitness, if you're starting from scratch, you're not going to see results for a few months. I mean, you might start to notice some weight loss, you might see some muscle gain, but it's going to be minor. And that's the make it or break it cycle, period, when you don't really see the progress, but you know that it's going to come, and you're following, especially when you're following a program that's been proven to work. That's what the difference between the men and the boys are. It's like, can you continue to push through that period? For me, I was a skinny little pickle though. Like when I started to work out at 15, I remember the girls I knew at the time were like, "You're so skinny." They used to tease me about it because I was so stick, dude. I was my arms were tiny. So that was part of it. Girls used to tease me. They called me skinny. Meanwhile, like a lot of guys at that age are skinny, but of course, some people naturally are a little bulkier. I just naturally didn't have a lot of muscle. So I said, fuck this. When you're younger, you're more insecure and you want everyone to like you. So I ended up doing good things with it. I took the insecurity and went to the gym, but I had a buddy at the time who was very into it. Like he was big already. He must have been 2 years older than me. And he took me to the gym with him, and we started working out that summer. And sure enough, after a couple of months, even 3 months in, started taking protein. I put on a good 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds over the course of those 2, 3 months. And I got obsessed with it ever since. And I just started, I couldn't, I had my periods. There have been periods where I missed a few months, but there was never like a long period of like a few years or anything. And now for the past 3 years, I've been constant, absolutely constant. And I don't see it changing, just because also I've taken it a lot more seriously in terms of leg. I was one of those leg neglectors, dude. I was one of those guys.
Standard male
Issue,
male
right?
issue, yeah.
Yeah. The calves also. I naturally have small calves, which
You'll
is,
be
I
both.
used to be so insecure about it. I'm not thrilled about it. Like if in long pants, it's fine, but in short, I'll wear shorts, but my quads and hammies are pretty big at this point. They're not huge, but they're nicely sized. But the calves just the jeans ain't in my
Genetics
favor.
on that one. Nope, same here. Your
Yeah.
story is so familiar to me. I started 15, same deal, skinny little twerp, insecure. Now, just dating and all that stuff. And yeah, it was really a game changer as far as the uh just the confidence that comes
Oh,
with
dude,
with
it's
all of
night
it.
and
I
day,
remember it
man.
so well. You telling that story, I'm like,
From 10th grade, my arms were literally nothing, no muscle, no triceps, no biceps, completely straight down the middle, like nothing.
it's so funny.
And it wasn't even like I didn't eat. Like I still had a good appetite. I was fed well, but everything just went in one and out the other. And I just pooped it all out. And but now, man, now I'm just almost every person I meet is smaller than I am. I'm bigger than most people I meet. I'm 5'10". I'm not tall, but I'm not short. But people my height or even taller, I'm just stockier than most people I come in contact with, unless they're fatter than I am. But in terms of actual muscle, the majority of people I come in contact with are just not, most people. Some people have a little bit of muscle, the classic people who you could tell used to work out, because the muscle is kind of still hanging
There's
out,
hints
but
of it.
there's hints of it. Exactly. There's sprinkles of muscle. They still have a little tricep when they bend their arm, but it's been a good 2 years and there's a lot of meat lasagna over it. But if they worked out for a good 6 months, a lot of it would come back. And and it's just like funny, because as somebody who lifts a lot, I do that. Whenever I meet somebody, I'll kind of like, I'll do that. I'm not gonna lie. I'll look at them and I say, okay, he's probably hasn't really worked out at all. He's worked out. He works out now. He used to work out. Like I don't know. I do that. I honestly do
That's really funny.
that.
But
I'll
you
still I'll still perfectly be friendly with somebody that doesn't work out that much, but I without question gravitate. Well, it's similar, but I gravitate much more to people when I know they're into their fitness. It's I want to be around like-minded people. So
yeah, it's success oriented. It's same with business. You want to surround yourself with the people that are actively looking to grow and get better and move the
Mhm.
ball forward day to day, which is what I was about to say. You touch on a great point. I think the reason that people don't even get started is because we live in a very immediate gratification type of environment in
Oh
all
yeah.
facets of life,
Oh
let
yes.
alone fitness. So, understanding that, this is not like a 6 month process and then you're done. You're good to go when you achieve whatever
That's what
your
all these
measurement
fab
based goal
diets.
is.
I love all these diets. These
This is a
kids do
lifelong process, man. It's like
lifestyle. Yeah.
lifestyle. It all is personal growth, physical growth. It's you gotta embrace that process and understand and find the fun and the joy in just winning today, winning tomorrow, winning the next day, and stacking those wins. And then you have your breakthroughs, and then it becomes more maintenance rather than a necessity to just leave it all out on the field every single
Yes.
time.
Yes. Yes. That's where you and I are. We're at the maintenance stage, and it's like, are there improvements I can make? Can I lose some body fat? Yeah, of course. There's always something I can do better. I'm not obsessive either. I'm not going to spend 3 hours in the gym. I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. I want to be in better fitness than the average person, without a doubt. I'm a competitive person. But for myself, I mean, I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to be strong. I have so many reasons. I want my wife to be attracted to me. I'm not married, but when I am,
Eventually.
I feel like I owe that. This is another thing which I always find funny. I speak about this on other podcasts. I tell my friends this. When guys are single, they'll take their fitness seriously because, let's be honest, some of them are casually dating. They don't know who they're going to end up dating, so they want to be a single, an attractive an attractive single guy. And then when they find a girl, everything goes to shit. And it's like, why does this woman who's giving you her time and resources, now you decide to become a fat shit? It's like, if anything, if you're deciding to get together with this person, supposedly forever, however long it is, that person deserves more of you fitness wise than somebody who isn't committed to you. It goes both ways with women as well. But yeah, I mean, like, I find that my future woman needs to be, she deserves that. And I also believe that if you're doing that, if you're into fitness and leading by example, you're hopefully not going to have that annoying discussion of, it'd be nice if you kind of worked out a little bit, because you'll have these guys that don't lift at all, and they're sitting there trying to pep talk their woman, which is kind of ridiculous. If you're not leading by example, then shut up.
Yeah, don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, but in terms of instant gratification, I think Planet Fitness should be shut down. I said it.
Yeah, can't take it back.
Said it. No, I don't think it's really helping anybody. I mean, maybe if it puts some people in the gym, that's fine. But I think it's a safe space. I don't think a gym should be a safe space. It's fine for people. People should feel comfortable. But if you're very out of shape, I think it's better to show up to a gym where a lot of people are in much better shape than you. You're going to have to face the music at some point. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck. You're going to feel very insecure when you're a guy who has enormous amounts of fat and there's a guy who walks by with a seemingly perfect body. Yeah, it's going to hurt you, but it's going to hurt you a lot more to continue the lifestyle. So I think if you go to a place like Planet Fitness and they're serving pizza and they have that stupid lunk alarm, like, what is that shit?
I've never been. I've heard.
I haven't been in it either, but I've seen YouTube videos. You know what the
things.
lunk alarm is, right?
Of course, yeah. Such a dumb concept.
It's so dumb. We're not that type of gym. It's a gym. It's supposed to be exactly what it is. My gym, LA Fitness, has, you can grunt and use chalk and slam weights and do whatever. But even so, the music, they'll play Ariana Grande. Like, come on. Like, so that's, I'm there now. Eventually I want to have my own. My goal is to have my own home gym in a garage or wherever. My close buddies and neighbors will come. We can even chip down and put the gym together. But I want to have heavy metal, old school rap, just good, crazy pump up music. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just chalk and yelling and screaming and just, no safe space, butterfly, fairy dust nonsense, just absolute beards and hair and just, you know what I mean? And if obviously my wife is welcome to join, and their wives, and we, everyone, no, it's not, I don't mind it if it's not an only guys establishment, but it's going to be a gym. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm very excited for that, though. I can't wait, because I walk into the gym now and I'll see my buddies there. It's not the same. Like, you can't just walk in there. Technically you could, but I'm not going to make a whole scene. But sometimes I just want to walk over to them and like slam their back and just go, let's fucking go. You can't. I could, but I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah, it's limiting returns on that.
Yeah, so it's whatever, but I suck it up for now. So that's the story.
Yeah, no, it's I agree. I moved. I have a wife and like an actual wife and two young kids, and we just moved into a house. And having been in this industry for so long, I lived in Manhattan for 15, 16 years. So I certainly wasn't building out a home gym in these Manhattan apartments. But I accumulated a ton of equipment over the years. I've got, heavy bag, speed bag. I've got, dumbbells up to 80 pounds, TRX, kettlebells, the whole nine. So moving into this house, I did exactly what you just said. And I finally was able to put it together in the image and the vision that I've had for a long time. I'm sitting there and, again, even with the music, playing stuff that is just getting me jazzed up, amped up, rather than, some of the rubbish that goes on at these big box facilities. And it's been a huge value add. You see the people in the neighborhood walking by and, oh, what's going on here? I'd like to get in on the fun. And, much like yourself, all are welcome. Come get it, and we'll have some fun.
It's nothing like that. People walking their dog and they just see me and like four buddies, and we're just like slapping each other in the back, just pumping each other up, and we're all the garage doors open and people walk by. Everything, they're walking their dog, everything's quiet, and all of a sudden they just hear a bunch of guys yelling at each other. It's amazing. If I just moved into the neighborhood and I saw that and I didn't have and I was going to some random gym, I would ask them immediately, "Hey guys, can I join you guys?" I would chip in if they wanted me to chip in just to keep up with the equipment and whatever it is. I'm game. Even if they want more than the gym charges, we're buddies, and especially everyone's committed and they're all like in shape. Sign me up. I'm game.
Love it.
So yeah, we're definitely short on time. So we definitely discussed a lot, and I'm happy to have you. If you're in South Florida, come by, and I would love to do an episode in person as well.
Yeah, I have a client down there. I have a coaching and consulting business as well, and one of my big clients, she operates out of Miami. So chances are I will be down there, and I will most certainly connect. And I'd love to meet in person.
I'm also perfectly
slap
down
each other on the back.
Bro, I'm totally game for a workout, man. Let's do it.
It's part of it. It's fitness doesn't take vacations here, so it's part of the equation, regardless of location.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Brett, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
having me.
I look forward
to my pleasure. I look forward to meeting you. Guys, subscribe, like, and share. Check out Brett's content. I'm going to drop all of your socials, including your site, for coaching and all that nature. So make sure to check it out. And until next time, see you soon.
Great night.